Welcome to Finding Fit, a podcast by three best friends and business partners. We're holding nothing back, and we apologize in advance. I'm your host, Angela Beeler.
And I'm your host, Catherine Ballas.
And I'm your host, Emily Field. So grab a cup of coffee, take a shot of whiskey, or pour your favorite glass of Prosecco.
And join us for a conversation about finding your place in this crazy world. And this
is Finding Fit. That was good. That was 100% improvement, even though it was still wrong. Catherine expressed to us that she was sleepy. So we tried to, you did some peppermint oil, or you didn't?
What is did some peppermint?
Did you put some on?
You did some
Or
cocaine.
did you just tell us it was bad because it's an estrogen blocker?
That was in peppermint. Lavender.
Yeah,
Okay. And you had a Laura bar. Laura bar.
Lara?
Sponsor us. Laura?
Lara bar?
Man, y'all are in rare form right now. Laura.
Yeah. So we're hoping her blood sugar levels come up a little bit.
Yes. My eyes are heavy. Oh. You know,
Try to get you to do some jumping jacks.
I can do that.
Yeah. Come on. What if you were
Blood
what if you were an army man in a trench?
But I'm not.
How would you stay in it? Come on.
Well, that's physical things.
Yeah, but they get sleepy too.
This is a comfortable room with a comfortable chair.
Well, I did notice they just turned the AC down.
With
so
people
maybe.
I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you know,
Prime for
from
nap time.
every training, I can just
Yes. Catherine has a smallish form of narcolepsy. Come on. She's jumping. You can't see her in the
I think
camera.
that- in that camera.
Oh, yeah. Get that blood flow. There we go. Hiding.
What should I do, Emily?
Oh, under the table. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know if this is going to do anything, but put your head below your heart and try to get some blood flow up to your head.
Oh.
That made me pass out.
It feels right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Emily used to do this thing before every event we did. You go.
Shoulder separator.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, stir the
Then
pot.
you go the other way.
So anyway, the only reason I want you to slap it out of yourself is, you know, we want you to stay engaged and active. I don't want to look over and see your eyes glaze over. And
Well, Gabby did yawn in our last episode.
maybe it's just not a good mojo kind of thing. As Taylor would say, sometimes we can tell if it's going to be a soul experience.
Uh-huh.
And
How much connection
Yeah.
we're going to get from the day.
maybe it's not much. Okay, so we are on what's probably going to be our final episode of season 3. We've been covering all the ships. We talked about the mothership, relationship, friendship, anything else?
Instructorship.
Yeah. So of course, we could have pulled another ship to talk about, but I wanted to just gamify it a little bit. Maybe this will help keep us stimulated in the conversation. Catherine, I don't know where we were.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
That I'm asleep?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where we were when we saw The Comedians. There was a documentary on Netflix that had Jason Bateman and the other two comedians.
Oh, about their podcast, Smartless.
Okay. They're
Yes.
going on tour.
Mm-hmm. They're
And
doing live shows.
They're doing live shows. And they had this brief moment.
Did you just yawn?
I did. I needed oxygen.
Oh, so it's you needing oxygen, but it's me being tired? Uh-huh. Funny how you spin that.
Emily's eyes are glassy.
They are.
I'm the only one in it. Maybe it's because I'm driving. Maybe that's it. You've driven all the other episodes. And I
Yeah.
think it made you lock in.
I'm not locked in. I was up till 4 last night.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Bonus.
That's okay. I can talk about all the things. by
No,
myself.
so you don't remember we were watching Jason Bateman and Sean and yes.
Yeah,
Smartless.
it's a little bit of a behind the scenes documentary about these live shows. But they did this really quick, fun segment called Quick. And
Okay.
the basic gist is they ask a question like, name 3 things that drive you crazy in traffic. Quick. And you just have to really name 3 things. Now, people get stumped because they're trying to find the right things or the most or the superlative of thing. But their goal is really just, what are the 3 things? But I thought we'd kind of bring that into the experience using some ship words that I just randomly found on a dictionary.
Did you get a Webster's out, Merriam-Webster's?
No, I just literally Googled words that end with ship.
Okay. Side note, do you remember when you had to get up out of your chair in school and go grab the dictionary and flip through an obscene amount of pages and know the alphabet and then,
Yeah.
homeostasis.
Or thesaurus.
Right.
I was explaining.
Dictionary is red, the thesaurus, the thesaurus was green.
I mean, even in as recently as being in college, writing papers was library, sticky noting the pages, highlighter, making Xerox copies, and then highlighting the parts that you wanted to be part of your
Borrowing
paper.
the reference book
Yeah.
and then scanning it.
Yeah.
Well, I recently just had a discussion with Landry about, because, you know, she was questioning the internet. And
As she should.
and so then I started telling her about, do you know what Google looked like in my day? And it was the encyclopedia
right.
or a library or microfiche. And so I was explaining what the encyclopedias were and how we use them. And my family was fortunate enough to have a whole set.
Yes.
The World Book.
Yeah, I remember the
Yes,
World Book
we
too.
had the whole set at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Man, I looked at those dinosaurs for hours.
I always went to the anatomy. I loved looking at the organs and the veins.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But can you imagine that was our source of truth back in the day? And it's
Yeah.
almost like the moment they were printed, they were
It changed.
obsolete.
Right.
But you didn't get that set.
New information was found.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours were
I can still
maroon.
smell it.
Oh, same. And,
We had
and
the
you-
bookshelves.
that came
double
with it,
shelf.
right?
Yeah.
And-
Ours were kind of like a burgundy and cream.
Yeah.
Or black.
Oh, I saw those.
Mine are, I think, were burgundy and black.
Ours were all burgundy.
Okay, well,
The salesman sold them to us.
limited
Came to our
edition.
door.
Yeah.
I think I remember, for some reason, I remember that we paid $200 for them, which I think back in the day was a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
In the 80s, maybe.
Well, can you imagine him just like got crates in his car carrying them? Would
he
you
have
like
them?
to buy
I don't know
all
if-
of these books?
Yeah, I don't remember if he had them with him or if he brought them later.
Okay,
but-
guys. It says that the Encyclopedia Britannica, which is one of the most popular, from $1,000 to $3,000.
Today, in today's market, or
No,
back then?
that is how much they were. A 32 volume set.
Oh no, sorry guys, I gotta pause. It's a daughter. Hi, Emery.
Hi, Mom. I just realized I'm missing the senior pep rally because of work.
When is it?
6.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
back.
wait.
I'm back.
This is what.
Talking to
Yes, I think this is the one that a lot of people had actually.
That's what our shelves look like, but the entire book was all maroon and it only had gold on the outside
Emily, was this
in
your
terms of words.
your world book? What did you color? Did you say it was?
I remembered like a burgundy and white. Oh,
Yeah, the World Book.
it all looks familiar. You know, you went into every home and everybody had like a version of it.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know if this was
It was in
in
my house or,
or my neighbor's house.
right.
Well, I can tell you that my neighbors were all old, so
Yeah,
they were
because
expensive.
this looks really familiar too.
Yes, is that the
Okay. So the way that this is going to work is I don't want us to focus too much on quick. I want us to think about just statements that we think when we are given the word. And since there are 3 of us, we each get to say or submit one statement about the word. Oh, you want me to put this on? Mm-hmm. Okay. Midstream. There we go. Branded. Yeah, so we each get to kind of just make
Emily,
a statement.
put yours here. Put this forward.
I was going back.
Oh, I did that too. We want this.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, we are in rare form
Is that
today, guys.
good, Gabby? She says yes.
Yeah, so we'll just each submit a statement about the word that ends with ship.
Okay.
And then it might springboard into other conversations. So
Okay. I'm not
I'm ready
going
for a
first.
test round.
Yeah. Test round.
Okay. So the test round, the test word is courtship.
So I would say like is archaic.
Or you could just say, like a one statement about courtship. It doesn't even have to be one sentence. It can
just
be
what
like,
I think of. When somebody says
Yes.
courtship, I think a way of a family trying to control the destiny of their daughter.
That's
I
it.
think that the patriarchy is just insidious in every part of our culture. Next.
Yeah. Is that your statement? Okay.
I don't know any other like more modern, more positive way to think about courtship.
So you're equating courtship with
Permission
arranged
of, like,
marriage.
Yes,
Okay.
a little bit, which may not even be the definition.
I mean, you just said it was. That's fine.
It's my statement. I didn't end it in a question. It was
Courtship, a period which a couple develop a romantic relationship, especially with a view to marriage, with the intention of marriage.
yeah. I mean, I think we just call it dating now.
Well, but I think there's a difference between when someone says I'm dating and I'm courting. Courting
You're
is,
right. It is with that intention of marriage. This is just
And
the
they-
time until.
I think that some maybe circles recently have tried to rebrand courtship and like call it intentional dating, but you're courting.
It just feels very locked.
Yeah, it's solid.
Like courtship feels very formal and
Victorian,
yeah.
dated. That's what I was saying. It feels archaic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Void of a lot of like freedom and
Flexibility.
expression and emotion.
Yeah. What if I don't want to court you?
Yeah.
Do I have a choice or is that on you?
Yeah. What does it mean to break the court?
Can the female break the court?
Can the female ask to court the male? Probably not.
Probably not. It's
I
probably-
don't think they can, which would be very interesting. So maybe there's a little patriarchy bend to it.
Here's some synonyms: going out, going steady,
Yes.
dating, engagement, keeping company.
It can't be dating because dating implies,
Yeah, it's
To
just
me,
like
that-
similar things, similar concepts.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a whole thing. Dating versus courting. To date someone is more casual and typically revolves around social activities and enjoying someone's company. That sounds like something I'm interested in. While courting often involves parental approval and involvement,
oh,
dating is more independent. Dating is more independent. Some people date for marriage while others date for fun without the intention of finding a spouse.
yeah. Emily or Catherine, what's it called when a player like declares his intent to go to a certain school? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Declaration of intent. I
Okay.
think. Or,
That's
Is that a legal document?
the
Declaration of Independence.
The declaration sounded pretty
Thomas
formal.
Jefferson.
Declaration of Independence.
They
Declaration
declare.
of-
They
It's-
declare their intent. Yes.
It's like they declare. I declare, Mr. Woods.
yes.
Yeah.
You also can have a verbal commit.
Yeah. I kind of feel like courtship is that. It is typically a male signifying to either his potential girlfriend and possibly her parents, I am not just casually dating, I am wanting to intentionally date her for the purpose of marriage.
Yeah. But
And
how do you start there?
Well, I have a family friend who has a son that is taking this more intentional approach to dating.
Okay.
It's something that I think he learned from his pastor,
Okay.
and so yeah, from my understanding, he basically just says to this girl that he's dating that he's not gonna string her along. Like if he understands that his feelings aren't there, he's gonna let her know. He's gonna cut the cord, but that he is dating with like a path towards not marriage, but that's what the dating process is for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti being intentional with people.
Yeah.
And I think everyone could
I mean, how
handle
old is
having a
he?
more intentional
He's in
approach.
college. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
It's sweet. It is sweet.
It can be sweet.
Yes, it is sweet.
I think that's maybe where I struggle a little bit is it has potential to be sweet
With
and
the right,
good.
with the right people.
But there are a lot of variables that would also make it difficult, hurtful, and confusing. Especially when you throw in the God in the conversation. I'm courting you. God said, whoop, just kidding. You know, like that's like,
Yeah.
did he unsay?
Right.
You know, so.
Emery just texted me that Leroy crapped all over the floor.
She sent a picture of it.
Yep. Because last night,
He ate a turkey.
apparently, yes,
right.
our bank
That's a
delivered
gross
us
pooping.
a turkey for Thanksgiving. And I guess they left it on the front door versus down at the mailbox. And so before I even knew it, I couldn't get Leroy to come in from outside last night. So I opened the door. I'm like, come in. And he starts running off. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I look down and there's the Greenberg turkey box that has been ripped to shreds. And he's ripped through the plastic packaging and he's like clamped down on a turkey leg. And so now he's crapped all in our house.
That's what happens when you eat a frozen turkey. At least it was fully cooked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't like pets. Okay, so courtship. Okay, that was the first one.
Wait, but you didn't hear what we said really
sorry,
about
what'd
it.
you say?
That's okay. Just that it can be sweet. It's just hard maybe when like God's involved and it's like, well, God said for me to date you and court you and then change my mind. Just kidding. Did he unsay? It there are a lot of variables that can make it difficult with dating or courting. I think with courting it feels formal. It feels more like official, and and I feel like unless it is explicitly said that then the female is really receiving information versus being
part of it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Well, I actually do know how I feel about that. I don't like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's easy to retrospectively talk about courtship, having been married now for 25 years. I can say it would have done me some good to have had some
Courting?
boys in my life that were more intentional about courting versus playing around.
Right.
You know, but I don't know. I probably
Didn't you have one that was kind of like to like pray with you and was kind of maybe on that path?
They all mostly kind of wanted to marry me. Oh. But yeah, I did have one that got really spiritual really quickly. And yeah, it just was kind of wild at the time. I wasn't ready for that.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's what that was.
No. He wasn't like, I declare my intent. He took me to church and then it's going to make me sound like a terrible person. He took me to church and in the middle of the service, he leaned over and laid his head on my shoulder.
No.
And he whispered in my ear, I thank Jesus for you.
Okay.
And it's not the being thankful for Jesus. It was the laying of his head on my shoulder.
You could say anything. You could tell me the funniest joke,
you
and
could
I
be
wouldn't
like-
laugh because it would be weird.
Yeah.
In that setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he had like gone above the shoulder, grabbed me and pulled me in, I would have been like, yeah,
But
thank you, Jesus, for you too. But it was the, I want to be manhandled, I think is what I'm saying. Or I needed to be.
You didn't like the like
Little tops of his hairs.
it felt maybe too like a child.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like a
it was
son.
way too tender. I was
yeah,
still
yeah.
pretty prickly as a human.
Was.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for that.
Now she lets it. You could rest your head
Now,
on her shoulder
yeah,
anytime.
Emily, just scoot on over and lay your
Nuzzle
head
up.
and
No,
be thankful
it's
for
not
her.
my
And
favorite.
whisper. Be sure to whisper.
Yeah, that's an intimate moment.
Yeah, and we weren't really dating that long either. And the thing is, he's a great human. He's an attorney now. I'm sure he's made someone just so over the moon happy. He was so nice.
Someone who really liked the head tilt and the
Yes,
thank
that
you.
wants the back scratch. And
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
All right. Anyway, so moving on. Okay, this is kind of a funny ship word. I just want to know what your definition is.
mine's gonna be wrong.
I don't even know if I understand it either. I just want to see where we are. The word is, and just give your best guess. The word is, I didn't look it up, so I don't know either. Nonpartisanship.
Partisan.
Okay, I could take a swing at it.
Okay.
If you are bipartisan, that means something that's going to be different than nonpartisan.
Okay.
So by process of elimination, I think that means, gosh, I hate sounding stupid, but that you are not biased to a certain party.
Okay.
You are kind of neutral.
Yeah.
You have a Switzerland involvement with the act or law at play.
Yeah, I would say it's like outside of politics.
Do you got a prize? Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, okay.
On that.
Is it?
I'll look it up.
You're still getting cheers. It's mainly men cheering for you.
As it should be. Cappy, do you have a guess before I look it up?
Nonpartisanship? Yeah, like outside of political party, outside of politics.
Yeah. Okay.
Neutral.
Well, the definition is lack of bias, especially towards any particular political group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go.
But a bipartisan, dual, both?
Yeah. Bipartisan. The bipartisan agreement would be like
Both
Agreed on by
parties
both
agree.
parties.
both parties enjoyed that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agreement or
there's-
cooperation. Yeah. So what is it called to be aligned with a party? Partisanship?
Things we don't understand.
DIDU.
Yeah.
But I've heard reference of like a bipartisan act.
Okay.
Like there was an act or law passed that had support of both parties.
Partisanship is a prejudice in favor of a particular cause or bias.
Yeah.
An act of blatant political
Guys,
partisanship.
look at us. I mean, we just broke down the root meaning of that word and just went hard in the paint. Got every definition correct. Okay, good job. All right, this next one with this word, they're all different. We don't approach everyone the same. This one, I want a memory, a core memory that you want to share associated with this word. I don't want a ton of details. We don't have a lot of time. But the word is championship.
Championship. Well, one time I won the Refit on Demand championship bracket. I won.
Oh, yeah,
my
your March
choreography,
Madness.
my
That's
March
right.
Madness.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be it.
Oh,
But I do think about sports.
okay.
That's the question. Like, what do we associate
It's
with
any
the word?
memory you have with a championship.
When the Rockets won the NBA championship in 1994-95, that is seared into my soul.
Okay.
Because we had tickets and we sold them because that paid for the whole season. But we went to a lot of the games up to it, my dad and I.
Got
So
it.
I was in 4th and 5th grade. So it's like, very strong core memory as
Yeah.
a child. I knew every player. I knew all their names, knew all their numbers. I met some of them. Like I was in.
Yeah.
So yeah, championship.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily.
Gosh, so many.
So many championships you have to sort through.
Really?
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and let you keep
do.
sorting because the honest truth, I don't have any core memory with a championship.
Any?
No.
What about as a fan?
No.
Because you know why? You're an Aggie.
Well, I mean, we went to the Sugar Bowl, but I don't feel like that was mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine.
Well, okay. It wasn't mine, I do declare. Bonus. Do you feel do you associate the word championship with sports?
Uh-huh.
And then maybe sports aren't high on your list.
Yeah, and I don't think my girls have ever made it like to the state championship.
What just happened to Emory?
But that was regionals and that was semifinals. That was all.
That was semifinals. I don't know. Whenever we started talking about courtship, we went way south.
I mean, Landry has ran at the state track meet, but that's not a championship.
Yeah.
You went to Satan debate?
Again, not a championship. It's
Yeah.
just an individual keeps making it to different levels.
Maybe we need to have a refit championship this year for you.
Hey, new recon theme.
Champions.
The championship.
Wait, I want you to feel the championship.
I know. I
'Cause
want you to feel that there's everything's on the line. Because everybody remembers the champion. Nobody remembers who won second place. And so that's why the championship game matters so much.
We were by district champs in high school in basketball, and that was I put that patch on my jacket as soon as they made it available.
What is bi-district? Is like bipartisan?
It's your Emory.
It's like the step past district.
I think it meant that both we had the same record.
We had district, and then we went to by district, and then
Really?
area, and then
We had the same
sectionals.
record, and so I think we ended up playing this team.
that
we lost
maybe
to,
that could
and
have
then
been
we beat
something
them.
too. Okay,
But yeah, because we went to,
but I just remember by district was a game.
yes,
But maybe
we
that
played a
meant
game.
that we were
We played a
both the top of the district, and then
Yeah.
we played each other.
We don't know.
I've had
looking it
those
up.
with all my girls.
Yeah,
volleyball,
you've had, like, important
basketball.
games.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we've never had the state championship. So, do you have
Yeah.
a state championship?
Well, I had 2 World Series championships.
Baseball, softball.
Softball, 11 and 12.
Whoa.
We played in Portland, Oregon. We won regionals in other states, and then we went
Wait,
to
that's
Portland.
a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
How old were you?
11 and 12. Yep. So we won the World Series 2 years in a row. And then when Tommy was a sophomore and I was a freshman, we had just started dating. Then later that semester,
In high school.
I went to, because I was a cheerleader, and then we went to the baseball games when they were in playoffs, even though we typically didn't like show up to games outside of football and basketball. But they won the state championship that year, Tommy's sophomore year. And then I do think about, other like championship series, so like I'm not even relegating it to like the championship game, but even whenever my kids are like at their little every weekend tournaments that like you get to a championship and you're there, and then you like, gosh, we're here, you want to win it, so I get more involved in those games.
So that's new for a tournament that weekend to have a championship. Maybe?
Right. Yes. Like where every tournament that has the bracket, you ultimately like get to the final 2 teams in the tournament, and then you have a champion, and then they get their little, faux gaudy looking rings. And
Those are so cute, though.
yeah. And then I think about like even the Phillies being in the championship series, like being in the World Series and
Yeah.
going to Philadelphia. There is definitely an adrenaline rush associated with, as soon as you said the word championship, my insides were like, yeah,
Wow.
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
fun
then
memories.
last year, the Astros won.
Yeah.
But man, this year we wanted both teams to be there. And they
I
weren't.
know. Because then there's also, pain that comes with it too. His
Yeah.
senior year made it to state championship and then lost.
Ugh,
But everybody only remembers
right.
03. You don't remember
Yes.
the year you lost.
Are there any ever championships outside of sports?
Chess. Is chess a sport?
I think anything that you compete in typically would come down to a champion at the end of whatever said season.
All right.
But then it's like, how do you define sports? Can a world champion exist in a sport that is they don't know? Yeah. Well, and then there's this whole debate about how I think is it the World Series, but it's only in America.
Right. Crew had the same question.
Yeah. So how is it the World Series when it's
where no other world is involved?
there's
when it's
no
the
other
National
country.
League versus the American League.
Right.
Both from the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the NBA world champion, same. It's like Americans were like,
Well, but is
Best
it
in the world's going to be right here.
but is it because that sport doesn't exist anywhere else in the world?
no,
it does.
it does. Especially in certain other parts of the world, even more competitively in some cases. That's why the World Cup is a big deal. It's actually the world
Right.
competing on a
Right.
stage, not just the teams in England, not just Manchester United. And it's the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things we don't understand. Add it to your
Well,
list.
it's not done well,
Yeah.
honestly, but that's okay.
I agree.
All right. Moving on. This one is, I just want your thoughts on the word leadership. Yeah, that's it. Thoughts on the word leadership.
Lots of thoughts.
Lots of thoughts about being a leadership.
Okay. What have you guys learned in the last 10 years or so?
About leadership.
Yeah.
I think for a long time, I didn't consider myself a leader, and in the probably forefront of my brain and back of my heart. And I still question that, which sounds weird to say out loud and feels very vulnerable, but I don't. I'm like, I'm almost 40. Maybe it's okay to own that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I've been under a lot of different kinds of leaders in leadership in my life. I'm probably a person that is looking to be led or leaders. Like I like to listen and learn from people. Like, whose throat was that? Was that mine? I just heard
It felt like it was mine, but I was too far away from the mic for it to be mine.
Gurgle, and I couldn't stop it.
I heard a gurgle on the mic.
Maybe edit that out.
Maybe, or you could leave it. But yeah, I think I've been under a hand, whether that's a coach in basketball or a spiritual mentor, leader, pastor, business leaders. I know years ago we went to Tony Robbins, and that's a leadership thing, right? Like, I think I've sat under a lot of leaders, and then just with the birth of social media, it's like we're constantly being led by the algorithm and by what pops up. And so I feel like Brene Brown is a leader that I choose to follow and listen to. But I have other thoughts, but I'll stop there.
Yeah, that's good, Cappy.
Yeah.
I have some different kind of words that pop into my head whenever I hear the word leadership. These associated words pop into it as well. First, I do think that leadership is something that's earned, not given. So you earn the right to be a leader. I think some people can be appointed leaders, but
Self-appointed.
yeah. But I think in order to truly have an ownership of leadership or to do leadership well, it is an earned position in someone else's life. Other words that come into my mind are things like experience, things like trust. If you don't have either one of those things, I think leadership is something that belongs to someone else, and not yours to step into. So when I hear leadership, I am thinking about like what it looks like and who is it.
Do you consider yourself a leader?
I think to your point, Cappy, being within the three of us and how we are the figureheads of this company, I think I've because I've always been the youngest of the three, I've just always felt like the young and inexperienced person still needing to earn the trust, so everything that I just described has been something I've continued to feel like I'm working towards in order to have. When, there was something the other day, it was actually while I was on stage, which is really strange, but I turned around and there was a thought of, I'm 36,
Right?
Like I am an adult.
Let's go.
As of this week.
That has experience and has shown myself in ways. Just a weird statement also to say.
I've shown myself in ways.
Expose myself.
A lot of different ways. But I think I have earned some trust, and I do feel like I know what I'm doing most of the time, and can guide others in my own unique way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Because leadership definitely does not look the same.
when I crossed 35, there was this moment of like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I might actually know some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my contribution, is that I think obviously leadership looks so different, and sitting in this room with two friends and co-founders, I think we are all leaders in different ways, and it looks very different on each one of us. And I think, the magic for this trio here is that we all lead in areas where we lead. What am I trying to say? We all lead
Uniquely?
well, yes, but we each bring a strength to the table that the other lacks, right? Like Emily, your physical leadership, in terms of your intelligence, with your body and with exercise, but also the way that you're able to lead classes. You know, I've always said she is our best fitness instructor, you know, and that shines. That's a place of authority for you. And Catherine, relationally, you know, so physical, relational, so body, heart. Catherine, you're the best at navigating all of the relationships. And I think you're intentional about learning more about yourself so that you can therefore learn and love others. And that's something I don't always have a lot of patience for. And Emily doesn't probably have a lot of time for. So that's important. And I think head, you know, I think my leadership style, I've said it before, I do think people trust and respect me. They don't always like me, you know, but they do hopefully trust my decisions, maybe take comfort in knowing that at the end of the day, if a decision needs to be made, that I can come in and from a place of experience and being the oldest, you know, make a pretty solid decision. So I don't know. I love that, you know, on one hand, you could look at in a different company, it only takes one leader, you know, to lead that company. It takes three for us, but we're also all the total package.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of have it all.
Right.
So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I didn't know where all we were. I don't know how many more prompts there are, so I don't know how long I can talk about each thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we kind of want to, we don't have to get to them all is the thing. I do want to know about, this is just a random kind of like, don't have to think about, but penmanship. Do you guys like your own handwriting? And do you feel like you're a good writer?
Well, when you first said penmanship, I thought calligraphy.
Hieroglyphics.
Just, quick. Calligraphy, italics. And I was thinking of a very eloquent, scripted, you know, handwriting. But I was always trying to change my handwriting growing up to however my friend was making their A. Or, I definitely can tell when I haven't written in a while. Yeah, you know, and that's kind of the thing with this new generation is they're
not even learning cursive.
Wait, yeah, but what does haven't written in a while mean? Like, how long do you go and not write? Like, what's the time stamp on like, it's been 6 weeks since I wrote. Like, what is that?
It's been a while.
Like, what does that mean?
There are days that I don't have a reason to write.
Really? You don't write anything at all.
Oh,
you go a whole day without writing.
I go many days without writing. Yes. I don't journal.
I mean, because there's some days that I'll make a note on my phone. I mean, some days I'll like jot down something I need to remember and put the sticky note on. But like, I'm going to sit down and like write a birthday note. And if it's been a while,
your hand gets tired.
Yeah, it's cramped. And the letters just don't look right.
I honestly probably go weeks without writing with a pencil or a pen.
Well, I don't think many people use pencils anymore, but you don't.
Oh, I love a good mechanical pencil.
I have a whole box of just regular pencils that I'm never going to use, but I have them. But yeah, I can see you liking mechanical. I bet you like changing the lead out too.
Well, you do it, and then while you're holding it,
yeah, and you like give yourself a shot. You're like, you're in class, like, oh, where'd it go?
And you get lead poisoning.
Yeah, that was always a thing when people were like, oh, you're gonna get lead poisoning if you do that. You said something a minute ago, and it was that
do you like your handwriting?
You go
weeks
without using a pen.
Yeah.
I think y'all, okay, can I?
That doesn't mean I'm not doing other things with my hands.
Can I issue a challenge?
Yeah.
What else are you doing with your hands? Knitting, crochet,
typing on my phone. Typing.
Right. Yeah.
I think I want y'all to write one thing every day.
Why?
I just want you to.
But for what purpose?
Before you go to bed.
So we can keep up our penmanship?
Yep.
That's the goal.
No. Write one thing you're grateful for before you go to bed.
No, I'll type it on my phone.
I think about it.
And your penmanship is suffering because you're thinking about it.
You think about one thing you're thankful for every day?
Well, like usually my end of the day, like as I'm praying at night, it usually is centered around just like, thank you for.
Are you praying in your bed alone, like in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Not alone. Tommy's next to you.
But I'm not praying out loud.
Dear Jesus. What if Tommy's asleep and you're like on the edge of the bed, you're like, Dear Jesus. Thank you
God for giving us bread. Thank you, God, for giving
this is going to sound so... Do people still do that? Pray before bed.
But
Yeah.
I'm lying in my bed. I'm not kneeling on the floor.
Did you ever kneel on the floor? Okay.
He said, do people still do that?
Well, yeah.
Like go to bed and be like, thank you for. That's what you're asking.
Yeah. That happens?
It does.
Okay. Do you do it?
I do.
You pray before you go to bed every night?
I try to say
What do you
something.
say?
It's personal.
Oh, but it's not the same every time?
No.
No.
Okay.
And it's sometimes pray might be strong. You know, like I feel like sometimes pray feels, some people have a preconceived notion or idea of what that means.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like reflecting and being thankful. And that's
Yeah.
enough for a prayer.
I think
Yeah, it's not like.
I understand like praying before a meal, praying before a gathering.
That is usually out loud around other people, right?
in a core memory of mine, I'm having a connection with being a child and praying before bed.
With your
But-
sister, right?
But as a practice, I don't know that I've prayed before bed consistently every night. So I just was wondering culturally for Christians, is that prayer before bedtime, that's a thing versus like a quiet time in
Well,
the
I think
morning?
because you do it with
or-
your kids, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's part of, it's like baked into night routine. for you.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm usually praying with them or for them or just next to them while they pray. You know, like
It's
prayer
like part
is a
of
time of like their bedtime routine. I don't like to use the word routine and prayer with like you have to, you know, but that's part of their bedtime process.
Yeah.
Because, you know, process is a better word than routine.
Their bedtime
Time.
time. Their time of the time in the sleep.
Yes. But for me, I guess there's really nothing marked about it being before I go to sleep. It's just typically the time that I don't have something else going on and I am laying there still. That is the quietest time of
Okay.
the day.
Got it.
I mean, ideally, yeah, you can pray anytime you want to pray.
Yeah.
But
Do
that
you
just
pray when you
is
get
what I
up?
do. No.
Morning prayer?
Something. I try to do something every morning and every night.
Okay.
Yeah. We were actually
Something.
just talking about this the other day that it is so intermittent and like really the presence of God is not always on the forefront of my mind. It is when I give attention to it and I know that he is there. But
Or she.
yes, the being is close. The spirit is close.
They are here.
They but was even thinking like it does need to be more of a decided intentional part of just what happens in the same way that we make sure to take care of our bodies and the food that we eat and the things that are going into our minds and the things that we're focusing our attention on. A lot of times I can tell when I've let my lens get a little bit crusty and hard and I'm looking at the world through a very kind of pessimistic woe me.
Or
Yeah.
for me, it's reactive.
Yeah.
Crusty hard lenses are not good.
No, those hard
No, they
contacts
really-
you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
They
I
can really distort.
I try to do something in a, you know, if I had to like say, what is the percentage of me making that shot? It's, you know, 50-50 sometimes 80-20, depends on the season. But I try to do something every morning and every night. I was listening to something about how gratitude before bed specifically, it like primes the pump for your next day. And it's very simple. And I was actually talking, you know, our friend Kelly McGonigal, we were talking about joy. And I remember a very clear moment when I was in high school and I was being discipled for the first time by Letty. If you're listening, hello. And we were on a walk and I was in a bad mood. And I think it was like my first or second time to ever meet with her. I don't know her at all, really. And, you know, she's trying to like teach me about Jesus. And I'm like, just hacked off about something. And she goes, okay, hey, you're going to say 10 things you're grateful for. And the horn came out of my head. And I was like, you're going to jump in the lake. Like I of course was like air, breathing, food. I mean, I was so bratty.
Yeah.
And then about the 7th thing, something did shift inside of me. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I had that moment at 15 or 16, however old I was. So I'm like, it kind of works.
Yeah.
It does something. And I don't.
It's a perspective shift is really all that it is. It helps get your mind off of what's not working, helps you focus on what is, helps you with my kids specifically. I've learned just through parenting them, because Crew will be the one who, at the end of the day, he is just talking about everything he didn't get to do that day.
Buddy.
And like all the things that he still wants that he doesn't have. And, you know, so I have to like
championships. Give me all the championships.
Step in to somehow help guide him into just a healthier way of thinking. And so part of that is, no, we're going to actually think about all that you did get to do today, all that you still will get to do tomorrow, what you do have around you, and choose to be grateful
Is
for that.
Crew an Enneagram 4?
I don't know what he is. He's so complex.
Oh man, it kind of sounds like
so
it.
complex.
Grass is
I could describe him, and you would have one person in your mind, and then 3 days later, I could give you another description, all still true, and you would think I'm talking about a different person.
Oh man,
That's why they say don't test your kids on the Enneagram before they're 25. So
before they're 37. What was the word?
the word was penmanship.
Wow.
We're special, guys.
I do like my penmanship. I don't think I answered the question.
Yeah, you have great
You
penmanship.
do have great penmanship. Y'all both do.
And no, I do not. And mine will look different every time I write, depending on what pen I write with. But yours,
Yes.
I can tell you have the same handwriting. I could see something written on the wall and go, Cappy wrote that.
Yeah,
I don't really know that I could identify your penmanship. I haven't seen anything
it's
you've
a try
written in
too
long
hard.
time.
You're really trying to write those thank you notes. That's why you maybe don't write that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to like it.
Yeah.
I
we can
want to
push
have
through.
good handwriting.
Yeah. I have.
But there's something that just feels a little bit like a crooked tooth. You know, like it just needs a little fine tuning.
I can write one word really well.
Yes, you can.
Like, I
I've
can
seen you
write-
write love really well.
Yes, or I could do Emily's name really beautifully on a card. But when you open that card, and you're right, my hand cramps and it gets tired, and then 2 words or 2 letters have mashed up against each other.
Because it's been so long, you're not really accustomed to like about to run out of room, so then you gotta like
Right.
dash and finish the word on the next line.
and then you're limited to just that page, and so then you have to flip it over, and now you have to write shorter sentences, and it ends up being not really what I wanted to say.
This
at
is
all.
why y'all don't write. It's coming out right now. This is it.
Yeah, but you give me a microphone or you give me a keyboard.
Got a verbal love note coming your way.
Type that out. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
let's
we took
do-
a journey.
I knew we would. You did not let me down. We're gonna do one more.
Somehow started talking about gratitude and prayers.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna end with this.
Let's
one.
say this real quick about praying before meals. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I don't know what to
Good
say.
food, good meat, good God. Let's eat.
Is that what your prayer was?
I mean, that's one I know.
I like that one.
I've never heard that one. That's good.
Yeah, I haven't either.
We don't say that, guys. It's just,
It's funny.
Blessed the Lord for these our
Like,
gifts who have about to receive from
through
that
my
bounty
bounty,
through
Christ our Lord, amen. And then my grandmother would be like,
And Lord, please bless us for all their gifts.
Yes, that's what we would say. And then Tommy's mom would then immediately like shoot into something else.
something
like
else,
that. Yeah.
spin off.
Yeah.
my grandmother's prayer was always, "Dear Lord, we thank you for these and all the other many blessings. Amen."
Amen. Thank you for this food and may it
And the nourishment of our bodies.
Yeah, may it nourish our bodies and our bodies to your service. Ooh, watch
Oh,
out.
that's a part
Also,
2.
you're like eating like pie, and you're like, can this please transform into something nourishing?
And service.
Yeah. Somehow the Cool Whip, make it work, God. No, I do think it's, and I feel like those prayers happen at holidays, and it's why. It is good. I'm not saying it's like bad, but it's like it doesn't happen, but like special moments.
Feels more like a tradition versus practice or a ritual.
Yeah. It's like Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're going to pray. And then maybe someone's birthday. You know?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could talk about that for a while.
Yeah.
What's your next word?
Well, I was going to just leave it aside. I don't have a specific prayer that I pray every night, and I don't even think I have a discipline of it. But I do have, I get moved a lot through music, and then I go through moments where I find a worship song that I love, and I'll play it over and over and over, or in the mornings, before that cortisol just shoots through my veins. Yeah, the adrenaline rush.
Before your first Slack message comes through.
Yeah. So it's sort of, at this point, more inspired. But I do remember when you're talking about praying with your kids, I do remember when I had little kids at home, part of the shepherding process for them included like praying with them, prayer time. So, but I do have my Alexa set to tell me a message every time I turn her on and off.
What does she say?
So she turns all my lights on and off. So every morning I say, yes. So in the morning I say, Alexa, good morning. And she says, good morning. It's going to be a great day.
Oh, I love that.
And then at night I'll say, Alexa, good night. And she'll say, good night. You have so much to be thankful for. So
Did you choose those messages?
yeah. And you can make her say anything. Everybody can.
Good morning. Don't suck today.
Yeah. So
That's nice. That's a centering moment.
I'm not saying Alexa is my God.
We know, Angela.
Right.
But that I think
You don't now have a spiritual relationship with
No,
Alexa.
no, that'd be strange. I think what we're all hitting on is there needs to be, we feel the need for some type of centering moment before Janet takes her hearing aid out and falls asleep. Like there.
Well, I don't feel the need for it. I just fall asleep every night. But I think what I'm hearing is everyone has to find their way to connect with God in a way that makes sense for them. Some people do it through a daily walk, right? Or journaling or the nightly prayer, but I think that's the point is some people like the structure, the discipline of the morning, noon, and night or night only. You know what I'm saying? We could probably poll our audience and find everybody does it a little bit differently.
It's when it becomes you have to do it this way that's a little troublesome.
Yeah. And I would probably argue that the reason why it became a mealtime thing was because there was like the activity that triggered the time for the prayer. That may not be where it began. I'm sure there was a much more dated ritual than that. But
It's like everybody's here.
Right. Or even just like people that feel the need to pray before they themselves partake in food.
Yeah.
Like even
do
if
you
they're not
guys
around other people.
pray before y'all eat dinner?
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we
that used to be a
That
thing
used to be a
too.
big thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it is still.
I don't know. I'm just kind of understanding that it's almost like the discipline of prayer has really evolved, even
so.
in my specific time frame. Because I do remember praying with my kids before a meal, and then just slowly over time, busyness,
Right.
game schedules.
When you're not even really all even sitting down at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were at a convention in Florida, and we were with like people we didn't know super well, and some that we did. Do y'all know what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the restaurant.
And people are in those moments. I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to be like, "Hey guys, let's pray," because it's like I don't know where you think about that, and okay. And so we started eating, and someone chimed in and was like,
Are we going to pray?
"Yes." And
Yeah.
then you feel bad.
Yeah, and we still have that. Some of our events, we'll eat with the host and the host team when we train instructors, and some of the host team they sit down, and I immediately see them like put their hands in their laps because they know they're
Right.
going to pray.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm
I'm
like I like hummus on my eye, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But anyway, okay. So our last word, and then we'll call it a day, call it a season. I just want to end on friendship. I know don't.
Such a big one.
It's a big one, but we've now been friends for, have we hit 10 years, Catherine?
Well, yes, because the business is 10 years old.
We
It's
for
like
sure
12
have.
years old.
Yeah.
2012, 11 years. You're
It was
nine.
before.
Nine.
I
You're
got
9.
married in 2010.
I know. I was your videographer.
Right. So we've been friends longer than that.
Yeah. 13 years?
Okay.
Yes. January of 2010 is when you came into class.
So I was
Because then I got married October of 2010.
I was okay. So in 2009, I was
Well, let's say this. We just had our 13th anniversary.
Yeah. So
So
So we're going on 14 years of friendship. All of us, or I feel like
y'all
Emily
are
and I
maybe
have a year
14
ahead.
and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, August.
2009.
Yes.
Because my first time I saw y'all was July of 2009.
Okay.
No, because we didn't get certified
August.
till August
August.
of 09.
It was y'all. Were y'all in that class? Were y'all already? Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So I don't, this could be its own whole segment. I don't want it to be. I just thought we would popcorn some kind of fun, simple things. So anyway, each other, what's one of your favorite things about being a friend to Catherine or Emily or myself? Do you see how that has to, I can't
Yeah, like what I like.
your favorite thing about being a friend with me, your favorite thing about being a friend with Emily or having Emily as a friend, I guess is a better way to say it.
Not gonna go first.
Okay. I can go first. Okay. So my favorite thing about being friends with Emily is I know it has been modeled for you, but your sense of commitment to family and family events extends. I get to have the overflow of that. I just think about 15 years of friendship and all the ways that we've shown up for each other, whether it's your kids, you having kids, you having an engagement, you having a marriage.
Right.
But now you've ushered me sort of out of a pretty significant season and just thinking through how much of my girls' lives you have, is it bore witness, bared wit, bore, that you witnessed?
I bore witness to.
Yeah. And how much of it you showed up for. I mean, everything from, going and being one of my girls' partners on the parent player volleyball team, play dates with my girls, and then them becoming where they're the age where they could actually sort of babysit your children, and then watching homecoming and all of their major milestones, Kelly Lane's wedding. Now, if I went and mapped out, and same for you too. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is that you are showing up for me and my family the same way that you would for your family, your own family.
Yeah.
And I'm always, learning about what that looks like because I don't really didn't have that model for me either. So even moments like when I look over and we're sitting next to you guys at a game, one of my girls' games, it's so significant. I think there's just moments that I'm still in awe, that she chooses me. I know I'm part of your family. I know I'm your friend. And I know I'm not the only one. And what a gift that you can make people feel that way. So that's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
about
and because
Emily.
you have a big family.
Yeah.
And so it's and you're choosing to engage here.
Yeah, and she has a lot of friends
That are here, and that are cool.
They're cool friends.
That are fun.
Yeah. But
we're not.
You always make the people in front of you feel like they're the only one. That's a really special gift. So,
Yeah.
and then Kathy, gosh, my favorite thing about being your friend. I think it's probably evolved. You've been really fun for so many years,
No, you're not.
No.
They just make me write every day.
No, not that. Yeah. You, as I'm getting older, it's been very joyful and delightful to have two friends, honestly, who are so much younger than me. I feel like you guys are part of what keeps me young and keeps me at least feeling like I can still play in the game. But yeah, I think early on in our friendship, there was just a ton of fun. Your perspective, your innocence at times, your naiveness. I don't know how to say naivete, but
That works.
yeah, it's just so refreshing. You really do believe the best in people. And then I think now it's evolved into I know you believe the best in me. And the shine had the potential to wear off the apple so quickly, probably week 2, it could have been over and done with them. But you just keep believing in me and believing that I can be a better version of myself while still empowering who I am. So I love that about you. it's not that you're any less fun. I just think that as you've evolved, you know, you've become more grounded in who you are. And so it really brings added wisdom in ways that I don't have all the time. So yeah, you're very grounding. You're a very peaceful person. I think you're the one person that probably knows me better than I know myself. So you know, it's annoying at times to like have you walk in and ask me a question.
To both of y'all.
No, you'll ask me a question and I'll answer it, and then you'll turn around and you'll be like, "You about to start your period?" And I'm like, "I said 4 words. I said 4 things just then." But yes, I am. Okay. So yeah, I, as an Enneagram 8 who typically doesn't tune into what I think or need or feel, having that person on the outside that's like, "Hey, you need some water. You need to breathe." Yeah, your hormones are talking. So I appreciate that. And
Thanks.
Love being your friend, both of you.
We love being your friend.
Yeah.
We love being your friend.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so
And
much.
if you want to take a different spin, like what's something you've learned from that person, you know?
Yeah. Well, and this would be something that if I were writing it, I would probably erase and write again or type and
Redo your
go
A's.
back. Yeah. Yeah. Just to make sure that all of the most meaningful parts were shared. But, you know, in the spirit and in the vein of podcasting and knowing that the quick, you know, these answers are not cemented. This is not the only
One of many
thing. Yes. But I admire you so much. And I know you've always said like you want to inspire people and not be an aspiration, but I have found myself in so many ways like aspiring to model parts of my life, model parts of my like after an example that you have set for me.
Ooh, say more.
And so
That's the only time Ansel's ever used that phrase. Say more.
No, I'm just interested. Is it like in any specific vein, like motherhood? I do know I'm worlds apart from you, and I do feel like as a mom, having gone before, I mean, my goal would be to like just constantly remind you that you are enough for those boys, you know? And
and I think probably seeing your girls as adults now has been such a testament of you were doing it right.
Yeah,
You
they turn out okay.
You always were, and you still are. You know, and just the way that you respond to their lives as not just their mom, but also now as their friend. Like gives me so much to look forward to. But also just even outside of that, and this is going to sound so superficial and so lame and silly, but the way that you orchestrate and organize your life, your house, your approach to your day really is very inspiring. And it gives me hope and belief that like one person really can do so much, you know, like capacities like yours really do exist. And so it's fun and like surprising to be your friend, just to watch how much you can do in a day.
I just want to like turn around and give it the compliment right back though, because, you know, I'm phasing out of all the busy things and you are
Phasing
stepping
in.
into it and you're doing the work that I'm doing. So really, you know, you got to give more credit to yourself. Thank you. I will receive that. But
Definitely receive it.
Same thing. You admire me or you admire.
I do. I really, really do.
You just said it, but I just want to remind you that you admire me. I just want, for the record, just real quick, you admire me. Okay? I don't know if that was clear.
You inspire me. You inspire me too. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And then Cappy.
Yes. This is so uncomfortable for me.
Well,
For both of y'all.
same. I've
Continue.
been sweating for a good 8 minutes now. No, but I think whenever I think about being your friend, I think about being cared for, like in every way. Like you go before.
Oh, she's about to cry. I see her little jaw trembling over there.
Little jaw. No, but the way that you can anticipate and not just know that there is like, someone should care about that. you then become the person that does. And it's not just noticed, it's felt, it's appreciated. And I try to remember to say thank you because I know that you value that. But it can't just be in my prayers at bed at night. Like it needs to be said out loud to you. And so here's my public acknowledgement of saying thank you for being the friend that you are. And really the friend that will come alongside and say, I'm here. I got you.
Thank you.
It is like, wait, this is where I say thank you.
Because along with that is your generosity. You're generous with your time, with your love, with your resources, with you as a person. You are a generous soul. You share yourself with others, and it's needed and appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's good to be your friend.
Oh,
And she's got a 40th birthday coming up.
I do. So speaking of generous, time to start being generous, Catherine.
What trip are we going on?
Yeah, where are we headed to, girl? Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
That was very kind. I'm glad I have that recorded.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it before bed when I wake up in the morning.
That's sweet.
No, thank you. I mean, gosh. Well,
That's why so many people want to be your friend, honestly.
Yeah.
They see it too.
yeah. I think why that would hit is it feels. Should we do this now?
I mean, you can just skip to admiring us if you
Okay.
want.
I can do that. I can just jump. But I think when things hit emotionally, it's often a place we feel alone in. And so, like, I watched you say more to Emily over something that has probably felt lonely or alone. I don't know which word people prefer, but that's usually what evokes that, like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel seen. Okay, so Emily, I am often inspired and overwhelmed and humbled by your resilience. And it's like if you were on my team, you would be the toughest player on the team. Like I know that you would drive the paint in front of a 6'2" girl and try to get that ball in the basket. You know, like
I did that so many times. The coach said I had to stay on the 3-point line.
okay,
Said, you're no longer allowed on the paint. It was actually the coaches.
no, I didn't know that.
I tried to drive in, got my
Yeah.
shot blocked every time. Yeah.
But like, that's
I
going
can
hard
feel
in
Emily's
Emily's
head. Like, I know this can go in this time.
Yeah.
I know it can.
I've done it before. We're doing it again. But I think that's a gift that you have, is that resilience. And I imagine sometimes it can feel like I often have said, I'm either brave or stupid. Like it's like one of the two.
Yeah.
But I want to say that you're brave in that that is such a admirable attribute for men to see women have, that resilience and that bravery, and to be rearing and raising 3 boys with that temperament and that disposition and that gift. There's some big shoes to fill for who they end up with. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is, I think that is something to respect. And I mean, I could tell story after story of just things that you have done that I've observed from my office. Like I'm watching you leave and I'm watching you get in your car and I'm watching it. And I'm like, I don't know how she does it. I literally don't. There are not enough hours in the day to do all that you do.
Yeah.
And you're not complaining.
She's such a good mom.
You do not complain at all. I mean, maybe you get in the shower and you're like, F. I don't know. But like, but that attitude goes so far. I mean, I'm a little bit of a complainer, and I can tell when I've complained too much because I get next to you and I go, she's not said one word about this thing. But it's growing me as a result, you know? So
Sweet.
thanks.
Yeah.
I like being your friend, and you're fun. You're the most fun. You're the party. If I have a vivid memory of you in New Orleans on a bike with the man, and like there was some scripture
Yeah.
on his bike. Like, I don't know, like you're always in.
That was just pregnant energy.
She really
fun.
is always in. I mean,
just purgante fun.
I'm trying to remember a time where we've invited Emily to do something
she's like,
or
no.
thrown an idea, and she's just a hard no.
Well,
It's
lately
always-
it has been a late night movie thing that I'm not really into unless it's the Eras
well,
tour.
it was surprising, like when I was like, "Hey, come to the game," and you go, "No!" Like that is so not like you.
yeah,
that I
but
was
like a 9 p.m. basketball game sounded 0% fun.
yeah, because you, and that's okay that it didn't sound fun.
But maybe that means that my yes means yes, my no means no.
100%.
The fact that I am saying no to some things helps at least ease y'all to know that I'm not just saying yes to everything.
and then
Yeah.
your yes becomes
that feels
stronger.
becomes obligatory. Yes.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
say yes, it's now with an exclamation
But
mark.
you are like, when I think about some of the most fun I've had, you're in that memory.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Well, I just think, gosh, anytime we're like, hey, we should probably get together, even if you kind of know you can't make it work, you'll offer 4 different options of how it can.
yeah,
Right.
you're like, I'm be there for 47 seconds.
Right, right.
Like, but it's fine.
You're like, I already have 3 parties that night, but if you want me to, I can drop Tommy and the kids at party 1, drive over to your house, hug your neck, come back, pick
That-
up party
yes.
number. I mean, you will figure out how to
Drive
make
in the
it
lane
work.
with a 6'2" center in the middle. She's gonna make
Yeah,
it work.
it's so admirable.
Angelo.
Admire me.
Bonus.
You admire me.
Bonus. Admire me. That's gonna be on your Instagram. It's like note. You're just gonna
Yeah.
say admire me.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't inspire. You aspire to be me.
I don't inspire.
You
admire.
admire.
I think I said this to you the other day in Minneapolis. Maybe I thought it and I didn't say it. Anxiety makes our world small. And I would say out of the 3 of us, I have the propensity or the tendency to be a little anxious about things sometimes. And you've made my world bigger because of who you are. I sometimes, only child, like both of you actually have, only child in my own world, in my own thoughts. I don't have a lot of opportunity to bounce things. And I so appreciate you and your wild ideas, your wild thoughts, but that you include me in them. Like, I don't know. Maybe I would have written me off by now because there was a season where I was no. The answer was no, or I don't know if we can do that, or that's going to be really hard. And it wasn't that I wanted to say those things, right?
Yeah.
And so to fast forward and see how far we've come and to see all the things we've done and the experiences you've allowed me to have that I will forever cherish. I'm grateful for. And to echo what Emily said, I don't know how you do the amount of things you do with the amount of time you have.
Guys, I have so much time.
No, you'll come into the office for 45 minutes and get 7 things done.
Yes. I'm efficient with my time, but I also have a lot of it. But yes, I'll get a lot of it done in the time I have. Yeah.
Yes. And I do admire that. Maybe we both do because we're a little like dee dee dee. But yeah, I feel like my words are for both of y'all. I get insecure because I feel like they're falling short.
Sure.
I feel like I have a lot more to say, but I have been the recipient of many misadventure and many adventure because of your yes, that I at times was afraid to go, okay. And other times, I was excited about.
Yeah.
But it's like that spurring on, like I feel as adventurous at times now. So,
Yeah.
thank you. You're like, I can tell you're like, stop talking. Okay.
It's probably because I'm so hungry. I've got to fuel better for these podcasts.
I know.
Got to eat a larger lunch, but
Well, thank y'all for
Yeah.
being who you are. Friendship.
well, Dr. Green just texted and said that she's at a wedding until 4:45, so we can't call her. So, guys,
We're not going to call anybody. We're going to save it for next season.
Give us your numbers so we know you want to be called and you'll have things to say.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. But I did really enjoy all the ships that we talked about this season. There really are a lot of other words that we could springboard in, so maybe we'll bring it back for a different season. But thank you for listening again this season. We do have exciting things planned for season 4. So just want to say thank you for supporting us. I'm looking at you in the camera. I'm talking to you with my voice. If you want this podcast to continue, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing.
Give us a review on your favorite platform.
All free things that you can do with very little time, and it goes a long way.
It does.
Absolutely. So signing out, season 3.
I'm going to miss them.
Finding Fit.
I'm going to miss y'all. I'm going to miss this time with y'all.
I know. January's real heck of far.
Heck of far.
Heck of far. On that note, we love you guys. See you later.
Bye.
Heck of far.